The Ripple and XRP news just does not stop. This is getting absolutely crazy, and so I have proof and information that they are working with banks with assets over $6 trillion. So these are the largest banks in the world. The information was just found, and I believe that this is definitely going to be a game changer for Ripple moving forward, and so make sure to stay throughout the entire video. If you enjoy this type of content, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe for future videos. And so we can see Ripple currently trading right around 62 cents currently. However, I expect this is going to start pushing substantially higher once we start seeing implementation of the information that I have for Ripple. And so if you're interested, there is a link underneath the video to WEEX Exchange. They do have spot and futures trading on here. It is very simple to use and there is no KYC required. And so they also have a Futures Pro tutorial here, stepping exactly through the process of how to trade leverage trading on WEEX Exchange as well. And so definitely make sure to check that out. There is a promotion going on right now if you sign up using the link underneath the video to get a free $30 of futures trading. And so let's go ahead and take a look at the news here. We know that the lawsuit about 10 days ago ended. Now there is potential. They have 60 days to appeal, and so that's something to be paying attention to. We'll be looking at that date of October 6th for that, if that is coming. And so let's go ahead and take a look at the documentation I have access to here. And so this provides an overview of the Ripple payments. It has a ton of information in here explaining the exact steps that need to be taken, any issues that come up, tutorials of how to use Ripple payments. You can see we can have individual payments, batch payments. We can have business to business or customer to customer payments. They have a lot of information here. They have error codes, best practices, right? And so this is all the documentation necessary here to utilize this service. And so in this documentation here, there is a list of the largest banks in the world that are working with Ripple. And so I'm going to be sharing that here shortly. Like I said, there is banks on the list that have over $6 trillion in assets. And so I definitely think this is massive news for Ripple moving forward. And so before we do that here, I want to talk about how Ripple joined Hong Kong CBDC pilot partners with Fubon Bank. And so this was back in 2023 here in May. And so since then, I have proof here that they are actually working with Fubon Bank. And so let's go ahead and take a look at that information here. We have bank IDs. I did make a past video sharing this information. However, at the time, we were only talking payments within the Philippines, right? And so all of these banks here are on the list. We can see a lot of the largest banks in the world are on here. We have HSBC, we have JP Morgan, and so we have Metro Bank. However, the bigger news here is that now we have China and Hong Kong added to this list, right? And so the banks in China and Hong Kong now have received bank IDs. And so some of these are the largest banks in the entire world. We have the Agricultural Bank of China here. You can see a lot of these other banks on here. We have the China Construction Bank. We have Fubon Bank that we just talked about, that they were focusing on the testing for a CBDC. We have the Industrial and Commercial Bank of China. And so if we go ahead and take a look at the largest banks in the world, the Industrial and Commercial Bank of China here has about $6.3 trillion of assets in 2023. And so we can see below that we have Agricultural Bank of China, China Construction Bank, Bank of China. And so the four largest banks in the entire world are in China. And now we just received bank IDs on the Ripple documentation here for banks in China, right? And then we also have banks here in Hong Kong as well. And so you can see the list of these. We have JP Morgan on the list. We have Citibank. And so this is massive news. I definitely think this is going to be the start of Ripple implementation. Now, when is that going to actually take effect? Right, that's hard to say exactly when that is going to be. However, I think we are getting much closer. And so that could be when they launch their Ripple stablecoin. And so they have been doing testing on this, right, on XRP Ledger and Ethereum. And so we could potentially be seeing a stablecoin bill by the end of the year. And so once that stablecoin bill is passed, that is when we're going to start seeing use cases with the Ripple stablecoin. And that could really start driving the value of the Ripple coin up as well. And so this is definitely something to be paying attention to. If we take a look at the stablecoin market here, we can see the current stablecoin market is valued relatively high, right? I think it's $170 billion total. We can see Tether has $117 billion of that market cap. However, when Ripple goes ahead and releases their stablecoin, we could start seeing Ripple taking a large portion of the stablecoin market, especially because they may be compliant. Right, they went through the entire Ripple lawsuit over a 3 to 4 year period, and they've been working very closely with the government. And so this is definitely some information here that I think is very valuable, and it could drive the price up substantially, right? I mean, just take a look at this list of bank IDs. And so as I mentioned, this information was not on here a couple of days ago. I made a video in the past. We were just focusing on the Philippines. However, now we have Hong Kong and China added to this list. This is massive news for Ripple. And so let's go ahead and take a look at the DXY here. Let's go ahead and take a look at the overall market. We can see that DXY is starting to drop below the support line. Now, last time this happened was back in 2020, and that is when we had our huge push up here with Bitcoin and the entire cryptocurrency market, right? I mean, so you can see we had this huge leg up once the DXY was started trending down. And so these are inversely related. We can see once the DXY started going back up here, that is when we started falling back down with Bitcoin. However, now we started to see the DXY start trending back down, right? We have broken that support line right here. And so if we could continue to fall with the DXY, we're going to see another leg up here on Bitcoin, right? We can see as the DXY started falling previously, that is when we started to see our move up on Bitcoin. And so we're continuing to see this fall. Now, after consolidating here for about 6 months, we could see the next leg up on Bitcoin. This would drive the cryptocurrency market up as well, especially a lot of these altcoins. And so while we're talking about altcoins here, let's go ahead and take a look at the total 3 here divided by Bitcoin. Now, this is when we're going to start seeing altcoin season. This is when we're going to see a lot of altcoins do extremely well, is once we break out of this zone here. Once this starts breaking to the upside, we're going to see a massive move here like we did back in 2021. You can see the push up that we saw. And so we're going to see a ton of money start flowing back into altcoins. It's going to have many altcoins out there that do 10 to 100x returns. And so this is definitely what I'm paying attention to. We can see we are getting very close here, especially with Ethereum and other altcoins pushing up right now. And so as I mentioned, there is also a stablecoin bill in the works here. Now, this was introduced in 2023. And so this is the Clarity for Payment Stablecoins Act of 2023. And there is talk that this could be approved before the election. And so once this is approved, that is when I think we're going to start seeing Ripple implement some of their services and technologies. With their RLUSD stablecoin that they have created, that they are testing, I think this is the bill that they are waiting on. And so this is definitely something to be keeping an eye on as well moving forward, especially Ripple here with this news, right? I mean, this is huge news with the bank IDs being added to the Ripple documentation here. And so we're continuing to see more and more updates with this documentation. If you enjoyed this type of content, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on that bell notification to be notified as soon as I make a video. Also, make sure to check out that link underneath the video to WEEX Exchange. If you're interested in leverage trading XRP, they do have it on here. You can also do spot trading with XRP as well. And so there is that $30 futures bonus promotion going on right now if you sign up and deposit $200. And so thanks so much for watching. I hope to see you in the next video.